Friday Fun Day podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. The international break lets us do so much fun stuff.
I know, we finally get to let loose.
Just relax.
Relax.
They haven't seen us let loose or heard us let loose.
No, you normally hear us on a Tuesday evening.
We're very wound up. We're very tired.
Very tight.
Most of us have early mornings the next day. Not today.
We've come from work. Well, today we've come from work, but
Yeah,
also
but-
it's just, you know.
But
It's-
Fridays have a different feel. You come from work, but you know
It's
tomorrow.
Friday then.
It's Saturday, Sunday. What? Now, I'm sure you've noticed by now that there's only two of us. It's just me and Hito this week. I should do my welcome. Welcome to Draft Boys, the FPL Draft podcast, as always, hosted by Hito and Whitey. I changed it. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Because Miles is
It's a new thing.
lads, how we doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, lad, how we doing?
I'm doing very good.
I'm doing good too.
And I think Miles is doing very good too, because Tutu, he scored a hole-in-one today at golf.
I did see that.
Yeah. He was very happy to share that, but not rock up to the podcast. So
I guess maybe
But-
he was out celebrating.
he's probably incredibly drunk and
yeah.
will never play golf again, maybe. 'Cause where do you go from that?
I think you give up.
Yeah.
I know Tiger did.
That's the pinnacle, right?
Yeah. Everyone gets their hole in one. It's over.
Yeah.
Done.
Some people say it's the PGA Tour, but others just say it's getting your first hole-in-one.
Basically, like, I think the hole in one is the beginning of the downfall
Oh.
because then
that?
you're like, wow, I am really good at golf. Now I'm going to try and take this seriously. When most of those fuckers fluke it.
It's that moment where it flicks into this is a hobby to
Yeah.
I'm fucking God.
Because every single male believes that they could still become professional at a sport they play, I think.
Well, more so with golf because you don't have to be in your 20s.
You can join the seniors tour. You can do whatever you
Mate, you
want.
could join the main tour in your 50s if you're good enough.
Exactly. But the thing is with a hole in one, you got to hit a lot of shots to
Yeah,
do that.
You do.
Chances are you'll get one.
And think our boy Miles, who plays a lot of fucking golf, for it to be his first.
I know.
Finally,
It's taken him a bit too long, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, actually.
Yeah. I think, look, I hate
It's pretty poor form.
Yeah.
What's the conversion rate on this?
I'd love to see some numbers. The stats it would be very low percentages, I think.
High XG, low
yeah,
returns.
Yeah, high XG, yeah. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about points for this week.
Let's do it.
I think it's going to be me going first.
It certainly is.
It's fucking sad, eh? I got 32 points. Talked a
Love
big
it.
game coming into the
You talked
to the fantasy week.
a huge game.
Well, I looked at my my matchups. I looked at my team. I'm like, things are starting to click over here in the Whitey team, and then everything went to shit again. Yeah, look, Pope. I think Pope made about 1,000 saves. He made 8 saves in that game against Bournemouth. I didn't actually see the full game, but
It's a bit
man,
concerning.
What the
that they're
fuck?
having to make that many saves.
But it was
against
great for
Bournemouth.
me because he got some points.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, yeah, and then my only other points really came from a Saka assist, an Eze goal, a Bowen goal, which is like kind of like it happens every week. Everyone else did nothing. Got a couple injuries. Can't stand fucking Aston Villa defense right now. I'm gonna strangle them.
Oh, mate.
They concede a goal every week. They win every game, but they concede a fucking goal.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to get through for you this week, but apparently not.
No, not this time. Anyway, let's hear how you went.
So I had a nice 50 points this week.
God, that's good.
And yeah, kind of spread across my team. I've got 6 from Virgil and Regulon in defense, 8 from Jota in the midfield, and then I've got 13 from Solanke and 5 from Alvarez up front.
Fucking Solanke.
Yeah, cheeky little double.
Yeah, you wouldn't be
against
expecting
Newcastle.
that. Like, you would have been looking at your matchups and maybe going, oh, some bad ones here.
Yeah,
And then, fuck it, he does it.
I know.
Brutal.
I know. I needed that because I'd had a few sloppy weeks recently, so I needed something to...
I was enjoying those sloppy weeks. I was making some gains. I was making
were.
sloppy gains.
Sloppy gains.
Yeah, look, you've extended it out again. Where are we at? We should maybe give the listeners a little update on let's just tell them the Draft Boys how they're doing.
Yeah. So I'm sitting first.
Hito's first.
I've got about,
500?
45 points or something.
No. You mean
On
overall,
second. On
total.
second. Oh, overall, sorry.
You got
I was gonna say-
589 points, and
Yeah.
then second's 543. I'm in third. I dropped down to third this week, 531. And then Miles has actually jumped up in this week. He had a good week, 58 points, and he's on 525 points. So between all of the draft boys, we're all top four. Miles is the bottom there on 525, and 589 is Hito. So what's the gap there? Quick math. It's like
That's like
63 points,
67
64
yeah.
points. 64 points. It's not a huge gap. We've seen bigger gains.
Yeah.
Bigger gaps, get chased down. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see
We'll
how
see.
the rest
Hopefully,
of the season goes.
hopefully I can squeeze it out to a 100-point gap in the coming weeks. That'll be
There'll
nice.
be nothing you're squeezing out, not around me. Okay, well, this week we don't really have a snack chat. Well, we do.
We do.
You've got it. It was something you had here.
It's just a casual snack chat. It's not an official contested.
It's not
judged
a contested one because we don't have Miles
snack
this
chat.
week. It was a bit thrown together.
It can't
so-
be official. I've got a little treat for you because it's post dessert,
Okay.
as we or post dinner as we
I was
always
about to
are.
say post dessert.
Well, it actually probably is. It's nearly 9 o'clock, so
That's true.
it's post dessert time.
Okay.
This does come with a warning though,
Why?
because
delicious.
there's we don't know if it's actually poisoned. This treat. This
What?
was a gift brought home from Kat's work.
What?
And the thank you note that she received, or the note she received back from thanking her boss for leaving these treats on her desk was, hope you don't choke.
Oh,
Lol.
and then she gave it to me.
Yeah. So, I know, listeners, if he dies halfway through, you've been warned.
So we didn't really say what it was. It's like a Friand or a Madeleine.
Yeah, I don't.
Kind of thing.
I've literally never heard of this thing before. It's like a little cake with some chocolate.
Yeah, it's like a seashell. on
hard
the
shell
bottom.
chocolate on
it's
it.
a seashell with white chocolate and like a muffin on the top. I'm gonna try it now.
Yeah, try it. I've got a little chocolate one. Whitey's got a vanilla one. It might be a little bit dry after a day old. The poison. The poison.
It's delicious. So far, so good. Maybe it'll be laxatives.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you have to run off real quick and I have
That's
to
not
hold-
bad.
So, listeners, if you hear me just talk for about 5 minutes, you know what's happened.
You'll probably hear it from the bathroom.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll give it a 5 because that's a really bitchy comment
Yeah, it is. It is a real bitchy comment.
from her boss. Okay, let's get into the highlights.
Let's do it.
It was a big week this week. I got a mouthful. You go.
Okay, well, I can go. Well, it's a bit tricky because we're kicking off with probably one of the biggest fixtures of the game week, Chelsea versus Man City. What a game. I did
Fuck
not
yeah.
expect that. I just got up the next day and just looked at the score because I couldn't wait to watch it unknown. And I was not expecting, most importantly, 4 goals from Chelsea.
Holy shit, man. We fought.
Yeah.
Like, first time I can think of in a long time that we actually like went down a goal and just didn't just look like shit.
Yeah. I couldn't believe this. I really thought you guys were just going to get absolutely pumped.
We constantly look capable of scoring. Like, I can't remember the last time I was like, oh, we'll get one back. And it was against City. Like, I wasn't even thinking, but I kept going through the game. I'm like, no, we'll get another. Like, it just felt like that was going to happen. And it ended up being exactly what happened. And I honestly think that City kind of got lucky. Like,
City's defense looked a little bit shaky on the goals that they...
yeah, definitely.
Like, you obviously scored good goals too, but I wouldn't say that...
No, I didn't think they looked
Like,
great.
particularly the one where I think Gavardol fucked it up to
Yeah.
allow the ball to come across to Sterling.
That was not great. And then, I mean, because it all started out with Kukurea kind of
Oh, yeah,
dragging down Haaland in the box. But I'm like,
Dude, he had his hands all over his
so
shirt.
did Haaland.
Yeah, but like the defender...
Oh, I don't know.
I think if the defender's got their hand on their shirt and pulling and tugging...
I don't want to be the one that says Haaland started it, but Haaland started
Okay.
it. He used that to gain the yard on him. And
Mate,
We'll
you
rewatch
probably
it.
already had the yard on him.
yeah, well, to be fair.
You had to
but-
take one step.
yeah, there's a reason why, because he just fucking pulled him back.
It's basically like...
Look, if it was the other way around, I'd definitely be on Haaland's side. But I'm the Chelsea fan here, and I'm biased tonight.
Okay.
Anyway, so that bullshit penalty happened. And then we got one back 4 minutes later. Thiago's beautiful header.
Yeah, that was
glancing header. That was so good.
That man does not age.
No. And fuck me, does he know where the ball's going when he's either defending well, he doesn't always score, but he has scored a few goals for us in that position. He just seems to always find the ball, especially in defense. He's incredible, but
it's very instinctive.
That run from him, he was right on the edge of the box. He just kind of like I wouldn't say lazily ran in, but it wasn't like steaming him, but he gets across and gets that header in.
He just knew where I was going, right? He's
Yeah.
running for that gap.
It was nice. Anyway, so that was great. Then obviously, what am I missing? The full blow-by-blow. Oh, yeah. Then we went up again. Sterling. That was where the Gavadol mistake happened. Sterling looked so good in this game. I'd be pretty excited if I was a Sterling owner right now. Just
I think
because
he's looking good.
I just think that, like, he looks so fucking driven right now. And he's going to ride the back of that game.
He almost forgot to not celebrate.
Oh,
He started celebrating, and then he's like, "Oh wait,
yeah.
let me do the pump the brakes."
that's
He
true.
wasn't sure what he was meant to be doing.
He needed it. Hey, like, he's not had the best start. He's looked a lot better this season. We've said it a bunch. He's looked really direct. But yeah, this game I was just like, oh my God. He was like, yeah, wouldn't give up. So that was a great little goal there. City got back another 2 goals. I can't even remember what happened.
I think they scored off the restart really quickly for one of them, and then Akanji also got a header.
Yeah, that's right. The
in there.
Akanji header. Oh, completely unmarked.
But then you guys came right back at the end with the Palmer
Oh, the Palmer pen.
Palmer pen.
That was juicy.
What did
You
you
couldn't write that any better.
Well, 2 ex-Chelsea boys, hey, like
Yeah.
Sterling and Palmer.
And Breuer came on, did a good job, like winning that penalty, like just managed to get himself in a dangerous area.
Yeah.
And I think it was Diaz, I can't remember who it was, just came flying in.
Fucked up.
And you're like, oh, mate.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then Palmer just cool as you like.
Yeah. I think
So,
it makes sense. You can see that with that game why Palmer left, because he would nowhere have been in that starting lineup for City on the other side
No, I don't think so.
if he was still there.
But now I think he backed himself to know that he was ready to play and he wasn't going to wait any longer.
Yeah.
And he was
We've
gonna
seen what
have to
happened with
wait,
Foden
Guardiola.
probably and being like, oh, well, I'm going to get the same treatment.
Yeah, I know. How long does it take Foden to get in there? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I think he's made a good decision, to be fair, because I think it's going to be, I mean, it's giving Poch some really difficult decisions come Christopher Nkunku's return,
Yeah.
who's coming back allegedly after this international break. So, I mean, Palmer kind of came in to plug that hole while Nkunku was injured. So it's going to be really interesting to see who loses their spot, but I just can't see Palmer losing his.
Well, you laid out a lot more money for Palmer than you did Jackson, right?
Yeah. so
Jackson was only like 20 mil or something.
he was 30, I think.
Oh, 30.
Palmer was 42, I think,
Okay.
from memory.
I was just wondering if there was like some priority there of
I think
development.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I was talking with a Chelsea fan just today about this, and everyone thinks Jackson's the one to go, just as kind of you kind of alluded to there. But it's where Nkunku will play. Will he play as a striker, which he's not always played as in Chelsea's lineup in pre-season? Or what will happen there? Will he be challenging the role of Palmer? Will he be challenging the role of Gallagher? Like, Gallagher's been on fire.
That's true. He's actually been doing well. And they he had a nice shot which was saved
And resulted in the-
stupidly palmed out back into trouble by Edison.
Yeah.
He
I
didn't
mean,
look
to be
very
fair,
good.
it was a rocket.
It was a rocket, but still you think Edison is
Yeah,
meant
it's
to be
capable.
one of the top keepers in the world.
Yeah.
Interesting, but yeah, what a game though.
And that was a Chelsea goal. That resulted in a Chelsea goal.
that was the Jackson tap in.
Yeah, that was a Jackson tap in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, there's a bit of form in this Chelsea team right now. Palmer has got quite a few goals in a row now. Jackson's got 5 goals in 5. Sterling's ticking over at the moment. So I think just please, just be aware of those Chelsea assets. Even Gallagher too. He's kind of managed an assist quite a few weeks in a row now.
Yeah, 2 assists this week, assist the week before, and then a blank, and then the 2 weeks before that, both assists. So yeah, he's definitely got a bit of a stop on him potentially.
Yeah. I know. And like, he's available in our league, and it shocks me. I mean, it's my own fault. I wanted to pick him up this week. Anyway, I think there's some Chelsea assets that may be being passed on. All right. Let's talk about Tottenham.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't actually get to talk about another epic Chelsea game.
No, we didn't last week.
We missed out last week's pod, annoyingly. against Tottenham. But the only reason I'll bring it up is because they lost quite a few key players.
Yeah,
They
they've got a
lost-
huge injury list.
It's got and they lost Van de Ven in that game. They lost Matto,
Suspension of Romeo.
Doggy as
Yeah,
well.
and Doggy suspension. Yeah, so they really were down with the men, but they came out firing with one I would like to put on the list for goal of the season.
Really?
Just for the little flick on.
The lead up to the goal
Move,
was very
yeah.
slick, wasn't it? It was like a one-touch passes.
Yes, that
Yeah.
little like flick behind his leg. I think Kulusevski laid it off to Son, who passed into
I
Matt
can't
for
remember.
Johnson. I can't remember now, but that was a nice little move. And
Yeah.
they looked back to their firing ways, but they unfortunately went downhill.
Well, they couldn't hold it out. And I mean, yeah, Wolves just, wow. I mean, and then hang on. If we're talking goal of the season, we should be talking about Sarabia's goal.
I was just warming up, baby.
Oh, he does
Goal
score.
of the season!
Holy shit. I think we burst the levels on the mics on that one. Yeah, fuck me. That he like pops that up to himself somehow and then volleys it
Yeah.
home.
The cross in was lovely
It gives me
too.
tingles.
Yeah, the space that they found. Obviously, they exposed Tottenham a bit there, but the ball in, the control, the touch, the volley. Ooh.
I know. That
Chef's
was
kiss.
nice. And just to add to it all, the drama of it, all in added time.
Yeah.
So they scored that and they scored another goal to take the win over Tottenham.
Yeah, that was and the
Incredible.
last goal was quite nice too. So
Yeah,
this Wolves team is turning around a little
they
bit.
feel like they've got fangs.
Yeah,
They've got a
they're
little bit of
they're
bite
not
to them.
and we're also seeing names that aren't just Neto.
Yeah, exactly. I
We're
mean,
getting-
Neto's actually been pretty quiet.
Yeah, Sarabia's only come off the bench for that game, so not a lot of Lamina, who scored the winner, was
Yeah.
only just off. But yeah, interesting one to watch and see what happens with Wolves.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to another player that's in form here. Simicast, Robertson's replacement.
Yes,
I think you're the perfect person to talk about this.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a no-brainer that he came straight in with Robbo injured. And just since coming on, he's just, thankfully looked really good, because we've seen this happen before where you think, oh, great, awesome. It's a big team. There's a direct replacement. They're going to be in there. They're not a youngster. But then they've struggled because they clearly don't play a lot.
Yeah.
But thankfully, he's kind of, I guess, not disappointed.
It doesn't seem that at all. I mean, look, what's his stats in the last 2 weeks? He's got
Well, he's played 4 games since Robbo's been injured, and he went 6 points, 6 points, 1, then 15. And in the one, he only played 23 minutes. So
fuck. Look, not bad. I'd be jumping
3
all over
cleanies.
that. How long's Robbo out for?
I think he's out till the new year from memory.
Yeah, that's a pickup for sure. That's crazy.
Yeah, end of
I
January.
think we should have been shouting that out last time we played.
Yeah, I think it happened
would have
when we
been
kind of
perfect.
I think it had just happened or not quite happened, because we've had a few pod misses. But yeah, I think he'd be long gone, unfortunately. But whoever's swooped in on that
Genius.
will be sitting nice till end of Jan.
Yeah, it pays to pay attention to that injury list. Thinking ahead to who's going to be making that
moves.
replacement
Yeah,
is it's vital.
yeah. There's a few nice goals in that game too.
There was.
Yeah.
I thought that the Salah header was nice. Little back post, knew where to be.
Yep. He's got enough hair to cushion that down. so
Exactly. It's really throwy at the moment.
it's super throwy.
I like it. I don't.
It's
There's
good.
something about it that's just very entertaining to watch him run.
It's like
He's
a
so
bobblehead.
bouncy.
He's
It's
its own
just fun.
bobblehead.
And then the finish from Jota on the edge of the box. Wow.
Yeah, I did not expect him to get the shot through, but
He didn't even look like he tried that hard to get space. Like
No.
they really didn't close him down either. Like it wasn't like one of those, like cut in side and really sprint and try to find that. He just seemed to like find it very
he
easily.
lost his man quite easily.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a beautiful goal. Let's talk the Arsenal game.
Yeah,
Fucking Trossard, dude, threw himself in there.
he really did. I was a bit worried for a second. Thought he might have got injured, but yeah, thankfully doing all right. And
Do you have him?
No, but more
Oh.
just a saw that,
Just as
throw him.
a human to another
Just
human.
as a human to another human, just my
Fucking lovely
compassionate side.
guy.
Just, doing my thing. boys in red. I always kind of,
Jesus.
I like
Disgusting.
the red. I like the
You're
red.
the Arsenal fan now.
Yeah, I am. Maybe I am. But yeah, that was really nice work from him. And then
It was a decent little headed assist from Saka to win that header in the box, I thought.
not someone who I'd expect to be winning headers.
No, that's what I was thinking too. That's why
Yeah.
I'm going to give him extra credit for it.
Yeah, he
And
deserves
because
it.
he's my player.
Yeah, okay. fair.
I'm not biased at all, as we already know. But yeah, Saliba with another header
Yeah,
there.
beast of a header. His first goal of the season.
Yeah.
He's been a bit slow onto the goals this year because last year he was
Dude, he was on fire.
on fire.
I wanted him this year.
Me too.
I wanted him quite badly. And now I'm like, because no defenders really caught a light. Trips
No
looked
defender
like
has.
it, but literally there's no real standout defender. There's a lot of teams losing clean sheets late. There's just no one that's really had crazy run of form.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be interested in Chelsea defense going into that good run of fixtures.
Yeah, it's a really nice run coming.
Because they have been solid at times this season. So that might actually be a shout out. Sorry to segue back to Chelsea. But we should talk about Zinchenko's goal.
Ooh, that's a spicy little volley.
Wasn't goal of the season.
No.
But I love a
very,
little scissor.
little scissor kind of gave me
Yeah, Karate Kid
vibes. Yeah.
That was good.
was nice.
Floated in top bins too.
Yeah.
It was good.
That was sexy.
It was kind of those ones where you're just like, it was good. Not goal of the season. Good.
No.
Okay, let's talk about Everton.
Yeah.
There's someone performing at Everton.
There is. And they've finally found the goals.
I know. Mikalenko
Surprisingly.
scoring
Yeah.
in back-to-back games.
Back-to-back games. It was very early as well, this game, much like it was last week as well.
Yeah, true.
So I think people would have maybe jumped on him last week as a punt after the first goal, but this second goal has definitely lit up our eyes.
I know, 100%. And talking about people in form, Doucouré adding another goal and
Yep.
assist in this game.
Nice
The dude is,
haul.
I don't know how he's getting in these goal-scoring positions so much, but he just seems to get goals all the time.
Yeah,
For his position.
he does. And they were quite lucky because it was a little bit of a chaotic game. Like all the goals kind of were coming around with a few rebounds and shots saved and scrappy scenarios. But yeah, I
He
think
makes
it
it
was
happen.
makes it happen, and he gets in there. And even our boy Mikalenko got an assist as well with a nice shot that he could have scored, hit the post, rebounded out.
Yeah,
and
that's
got
true. I
tucked
saw
in.
that as well. He's
So he-
really getting in goal-scoring areas.
Very threatening, very threatening.
Okay. Next on our list here is Palace, namely Eze, with just a very casual pen.
Oh, but the run as well into the box was just like,
Yeah, pretty direct. I'm
Yeah.
excited. As an Eze owner, I'm like, okay, buddy, this is it. Elise is coming back as well. Take a bit of that pressure off him. I think this is Eze's time.
yeah.
I think I don't know what the fixtures are because I already own him. We should have a look at that. Hang on, I'll bring it up.
But yeah, I guess like
Oh,
the run is looking good.
that's not too bad.
Yeah, tell me.
Is Luton,
Mm-hmm.
West Ham,
Yeah.
Bournemouth, then Liverpool, Man City, Brighton, Chelsea, Brentford. So it gets worse. But the next three games, spicy.
Next three are good.
So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
you could, trade him high when he scores all these goals in the
Yeah,
next three games.
that's true. Yeah,
Uh,
that's a little tough run after the Bournemouth game.
definitely gets a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they don't look like they've got a great run for the rest of the season.
enjoy the
really.
next few weeks, mate.
I'm just going to hold out. He's
Yeah.
a dude that can make stuff happen in any game. So I'm not too worried about that.
And speaking of someone who can make something happen in a game,
Ooh.
Adaringa at Brighton.
Adringa?
Adringa?
No. How do you say his name?
Adingra?
Adingra. Sorry.
Adingra. Amazing little run. I almost want to give a little goal of the season shout. Just because
Really?
it was such...
3 in one ep?
Yeah, I'm on fire.
You got to pick one goal. A goal of the season.
Yeah, will
Not
be.
Goals.
I've got to have like candidates to pick from.
I'm
So
not
I've
sure
got to.
I think you'll have a
I've got to
lot of
flesh out the
narrowing
list.
down to do.
I'm fleshing out the thing. But the run off the side of the pitch, zigzagging in, works some space, lays it off to his teammate. They then flick it back to him through the box. He goes through the body, slides in, kicks it in.
Ooh. Honestly, description of the season. That was a really nice description of the
season.
Yeah, wow. Impressive. Yeah, look, that was very nice. I'm not going to give a goal this season, though.
No, well, it's just got to be.
You love those
acknowledged.
kinds of like teamwork lead up goals.
I do.
Yeah.
And I like a little run.
Yeah.
little zigzag dribble. But he also scored in the Europa League as well. So keep
that's
an eye on
true.
that too.
Yeah,
That's 2 goals in a short
I
time
know.
frame.
And I mean, he hadn't had the best form up until then, but we jump on form.
Yeah. And we reiterate, you got to look at the Europa games and the non-Prem games too,
Yeah.
because form can consist across multiple
Formats. Competitions. Good one. Yours was better.
Basketball,
Yeah.
NFL.
Cricket. That really translates very well. He played a game of backyard cricket on the weekend and scored a century. Bring him in the team.
Game on
He's
FIFA?
got bags of confidence.
Game on FIFA.
Yeah.
He won his championship in career mode. It's sorted.
Oh my God. Too many segues this week. Okay, next one on the list is West Ham with Paqueta with a nice goal.
Yeah.
First goal since August. Would you believe it? In my mind, he was kind of ticking away, getting something here and there. And
Well,
now,
he's scooped up a couple of goals in the Europa League, which is sorry, I knocked your mic. Which is what happened this week as well, just much like it did for Adingra.
Adingra.
How do you say his name? I don't know how to say his name. But yeah, much like him, he scored in Europa League this week too. So back-to-back goals. But also weirdly in this game, another 3-2. There was just goals kind of everywhere.
Plenty of goals. Bowen with his 8th of the season.
Yeah.
Looking at, shoe in for the Golden Boot.
Oh, he's up there, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. Could have been a pickup of the season.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty nice header at the back post there. But
someone also I'm surprised that wins headers.
Yeah, but he does actually score a few.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
He just is one of those guys. He's a poacher. He's just a lot of movement in and around
good
the 6-yard
position.
box. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Someone who I do expect to win headers is Souček, who won the game for them.
yeah, that's true. And they needed a win. They've actually
beast.
not had the best form for the last little while.
No,
So,
they needed that.
yeah. So maybe we'll see an uptick again from West Ham from that. Well, the last one here is one I said last week, and I think I need to bring up this one because, I like to pat myself on the back, as you know. I put McGinn in my waivers for last week, and I hope there are some listeners not last week, last pod. I hope there are some listeners that listen to me because 10 points this week.
They should.
He's been ticking over. There's some good stuff happening. It was a nice finish from distance. He's very capable of goals like that. He's been getting assists. I just think this is a bit of a McGinn time.
I think it is, and I think we owe an apology to our listener who asked about him as an option. Well, maybe you.
Yeah, to me.
To you, fine. I'm throwing him out there.
Throw an apology to me.
I'm sorry, I can't remember who our listener was that was asking about him. I think it was Corey, actually, looking back at our questions from last time.
Yep.
Was tossing up between Jensen and McGinn, and we felt Jensen was a bit more of a stable pick, who has actually pulled a few returns here and there. I think he got an assist
Yeah.
the other week, our old boy Jensen, but McGinn is looking like the stronger player now, unfortunately. So
It is a bit mixed for them in terms of fixtures. I'm looking at Spurs next game, which actually we're seeing now maybe could be a decent one.
Yeah.
I don't know if Romero is still out though. I think it was it 2 yellows or did he go straight
he was
red?
straight, so he'd be...
Oh, okay. He's a couple more games and they're without Van de Ven. So bit of a change up at the back for them, which could mean some goals. And then they've got Bournemouth. They go City, Arsenal, then Brentford, Sheffield. So not too bad. United, Burnley, Everton. So it's not...
Oh, really? It's like mostly too hard because
There's really two hard fixtures.
United or you don't know what you're going to get against them. So
Exactly.
it could be mostly all good.
So I still think Villa, with the form they've been in, I still think their players are good assets. And I think that McGinn's probably one that's still hanging around. But yeah, I think that that wraps us up for the highlights for this week. So let's do worst and best.
Yep.
What's your worst? What's your best?
So my worst this week is my bench. I didn't mention it earlier because I
How many points was on there?
couldn't do with it twice. I had 11 points on my bench.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I had a Wanyi with 6. I don't know why I didn't start him. I think
He hasn't had a great run of form.
he hasn't, but the fixture I should have played him against West Ham.
Yeah.
And Harrison, 5 points.
5 points. You
Little
even
assist.
tried to drop him this week.
I did. And he has a bit of
6
form
son of a
off and
bitch.
on, so I don't know why I didn't play him. Probably because
Yeah.
I tried to drop him for someone else, and then in my mind, I kind of
He was dead to
discounted.
you.
I discounted him.
Yeah.
So yeah, regrets.
Okay, well, let's go for your best.
Well, my best is someone else's misfortune, and that's Anthony Elanga.
What happened?
He scored a goal that put Forest in front of West Ham, 2-1.
Yes.
Immediately takes his shirt off. Immediately takes off his fitness tracker bralette. Runs to the corner, celebrates like he just scored the winner for Forest away from home in about the 63rd minute. 2 minutes later, Bowen scores.
Oh,
Love it.
fucking love
I
it.
fucking hate shirt off celebrations. I think they're the most wanky things ever.
Really?
And I love when it's something like that goes against someone.
Really? What? Why do you like shirt off celebrations?
I just think it's just weird that your first instinct when you score a goal is I've got to rip my shirt off.
I like it when they use it to like flail it around their head.
Oh yeah,
That's a fun one. That's like the helicopter.
that's a bit better.
I like the
Yeah.
helicopter.
Yeah. Okay, you got to do something with the shirt as a prop.
You know that
But he
Miles,
just, like,
if he was
takes them
here,
off
would be
and
talking
ditches
about how sexy their bodies are and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
I
like
know.
that would be his position. Oh, I don't know. I like seeing like half naked men.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
Yeah, but look, I don't know if I feel strongly about that as you. Yeah.
I also think it's a more obnoxious
Do they still give
celebration.
you yellow for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think it's also a
It is
more
an obnoxious
obnoxious celebration. So for that to be done and you don't actually win the game,
Yeah, to
It's quite
get a
funny.
yellow card for that, yeah, you want to be winning the game.
yeah, it's
yeah,
quite
63rd minute's a bit
funny.
premature.
Yeah, away from home.
Maybe he thought it was the 83rd. Maybe he read it wrong.
Maybe.
Shit.
Didn't have his contact.
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
Yeah. So I quite enjoyed that. What's yours?
Okay, well, best seems obvious, but fuck me, that Chelsea City game. That's one of the best games I've watched.
When
In
I
football.
saw the play-by-play, I was like picturing you in your house celebrating each of those like comeback goals.
I was holding a newborn and I was going, yes, like whisper screaming and holding the baby.
I'm surprised. Well, well done you for keeping your baby alive during that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, she stayed asleep. But fuck me.
That's
I was
impressive.
like, well, normally I go down in the mornings and I like give my partner a rest and, you know, hold the baby and like put her down in her bassinet. But that morning she was fussy and I was not happy about it. Anyway, so I had to keep her in my arms the whole time. And I'm like watching this game. I'm like, fuck, why this morning? Why?
That actually should be your best that you kept your baby asleep whilst celebrating
Yeah,
Chelsea.
that's true. That's
a pretty good best.
Yeah, I pat on my back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my best. And worst was picking up Lo Celso this week. Yeah, heard that maybe he'd come in and fill in the role for Maddo, which I thought Spurs were a pretty good goal scoring team. Maybe that would be a nice little pickup. He had a really good loan spell while he was away. So
Yep.
a lot of positive things around him. Nope, they went to a 4-3-3.
They went out of their way to fuck you.
They literally were like, no, we're not going to play Lo Celso there. So Ange doesn't like Lo Celso, so we know that now. I'll be dropping him next
yeah, we'll
week.
see him put him on your waivers and he'll play next week.
Yeah, actually, I just thought of a drop for this week.
Lo Celso.
I've just added him in. I didn't have any. Okay, stop, drop, and hold. Let's get into it, boys.
Let's go.
We have shouted out a lot of these names already, and we've kind of stated what they are. So let's run through them quickly. It'll
Let's
just
do
be
it.
more of a refresher. Simicast.
Yep.
He's been racking up a couple assists. In for Robertson.
Killing it.
Seems like a no-brainer right now. McGinn, again, we said his form has been pretty consistent, and Aston Villa's form is still very good.
Mhm.
And then you've got,
Mikolenko.
yeah,
The back-to-back goals
and an assist.
and an assist as well. I think he just rockets onto that sheet where it's you just got to stop.
His
And he
form.
got a clean sheet, before
Yeah,
the week before. So it's 3 weeks in a row
with
of
returns.
forms.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
And the fixtures are pretty nice with United, Forest, and then Newcastle, who seem to be maybe struggling a tiny bit right now.
They're not looking that great. So yeah, that's a good shout. Okay, what's on your drop list? Because everyone knows Lo Celso's on mine.
I just thought I'd put it on there because it's a little bit interesting. João Pedro, we haven't spoken about him for a little while.
Dude, so quiet.
Went from being very high draft pick at the start of the season. We thought this was going to be
Way
a killer
too
of an
early.
option.
I really thought whoever that person went early on that.
Yeah, I think it went early, but I think there was an element of, this could pay off because they've
It was a gamble.
They've gone big with the investment of the money.
But he started okay, like a goal in the first game week.
Yep.
The person who drafted him early, very excited. Then blank for a little while, another goal, giving him some hope, and then nothing since.
Yeah, nothing since. A lot of sub appearances.
And really not making the lineup in the last 3 game weeks. Like
only cracking past 64 minutes. What? Twice since
not
game
the
week
flavor
4
of the month at the moment.
No, and we know it's light with forwards, but it just is getting to that point where he's probably becoming your weakest link, and you got to think what else is out there.
No, I completely agree. I think I'd be dropping him based on that. I wouldn't hold on to it much longer. Okay, we don't have any fan questions this week, so we're just going to blast through that. I think we'll just round out our pod with our top waivers this week.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My first one, I'm going to attempt to say his name again. It's Adingra.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Did I say it better?
Yeah,
that
you got
time?
it better that time.
I just liked the double up of Europa League goal and Premier League goal this week. It just looked really spicy. And they've got Forest and Chelsea, then Brentford, so it's not the worst fixture run. And he's getting like the last 5 games he's started in the Prem. So I like it.
Okay, that's fair. Next one?
My next one is Paqueta.
You're really liking this Europa League form.
I am
aren't you?
like
This is the first week you've checked it. You're like, oh my God, I've just realized.
the double. I like that. Yeah, I think the double up of Europa League fixture is quite nice. And I think West Ham as well. Yeah, Burnley, Palace, Tottenham, not the worst fixture list. Then it's Spurs, Fulham, Wolves. So pretty decent.
Yeah.
At least 4 of those 5 games are good. And then my final one in the same team is Souček, another scorer.
Yeah.
Just the fixture run purely.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you
And I
there.
just think he might not be owned because he's not a big name and a regular scorer.
No, but we've seen his name a couple of weeks in the kind of returns column lately. I mean, he's sitting on 40 points for the season, which is nothing. Look, he had 2 goals around game week 7 and 8, and then kind of blanked for 3 weeks, and now he's back again. So he's putting up kind of JWP numbers.
It's not out
Southampton
of
JWP numbers.
It's not out of nowhere, and we know he can score a goal or 2.
We've seen it from him before, so no, I tend to agree with you there. There's something there, especially for those bigger leagues.
All right, what have you got, mate?
Look, I'm backing up what I was saying before about Chelsea's defense. The games aren't as bad as they look from now, especially after seeing that performance. I know Chelsea did concede 4 goals, but their defense has, in general, looked better. I think the guy who I'm mentioning, Cucurella, has looked the best I've seen him play in a Chelsea shirt by a mile. He's going to have that spot for a while, and I just think maybe play the long game, get in there early, because that good run of fixtures is coming. We might get to see him scoring some points.
I do like that shout because people will be put off by the Newcastle Brighton United.
Yeah.
And if you do it now, you're then sorted from mid-December all the way through to mid-Jan.
Exactly. And it's a little bit better. Like, I think those fixtures aren't as bad as they look because Brighton haven't been incredible.
Yeah, they're hit and miss.
And they've been, they don't have the fresh legs that Chelsea boys do right now because we don't have anything to play in other than Prem and Carabao Cup. And the other, Man United, Newcastle, a lot of injuries. So we'll see how that goes. And then, another Chelsea player, Gallagher. Like, I think we kind of said maybe he'd be a stop by this point with the form that we've seen, but we haven't really mentioned his name as a pickup all season.
No.
And I think it's fucking bang out of order.
Yeah. It's overdue. He's been slowly just chipping away with. He's got 5 assists in the last 5 game weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it was and that's all, to be fair, that's all he's returned this whole season.
Yeah.
There was a slow start. He had different positions that he was playing.
He was playing very deep, wasn't he?
But now he is making that position his own. The only risk to him at the moment is if Nkunku coming back in the next couple of weeks will affect that. But to me, it's already a 5th med pickup. I think it's worth the risk, even for the short term.
And they're going to ease Nkunku back in as well.
Yeah, I think it'll take a good month from now.
It gets busy season now too with fixtures.
Yeah, that's very true. So we'll see some more rotation for everyone. But that could be I just think that this is a time where Chelsea could come up good because they don't have any other.
It's all prep for this fixture run, right? You go hit hard or home. Otherwise, you got no other chance with Chelsea.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't have a third this week.
That's
I'm
fine.
just not going to
That's
throw
allowed.
names out there because,
Don't
I
feel the
want people
pressure,
to
mate.
pick up
You're
bad
cool under
people.
pressure, mate.
I see. I'm as icy as Cole Palmer taking that pen and then putting his arms out. Like he did celebrate.
Yeah, he did.
There was a bit of malice
There
there.
was there.
I like the kid.
Do you see him trying to chime into the set piece?
the huddle?
Shenanigans?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
That was quite funny.
Holland was the only one who found it funny.
Yeah,
the rest looked really
Because
pissed
Haaland
off.
would definitely do that himself,
Yeah.
right?
He looks like he's a nice-ish dude.
Who?
I added an ish.
Haaland.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
I think he actually
Yeah.
seems like he's grounded to some
yeah.
extent.
I think he'd be like a savage on the training pitch, but
Yeah.
I reckon he would just be an absolute. He looks like a larrikin. He just
Yeah,
looks
he
like,
actually does.
He doesn't.
I thought he was going to be more like a Zlatan.
Oh yeah,
You know, that real serious, like
Big
talking
ego.
about themselves in the
Yeah.
third person,
Yeah.
big ego was kind of how I pictured he'd be when he was coming to the Premier League. And I've seen videos and stuff and I'm like, oh no, he's nothing like that.
yeah.
But yeah, look, hey, it's been a pleasure.
As always, mate.
Really good pod. And look, we're going to be endeavor to be back. We won't be back next week. This is our only pod before the next set of game weeks. And then we'll be back next week after that.
Yeah.
Hit us up, FPL Draft Boys. Please send in questions. And yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.
That's a new one.